Good. My competition just finished. Perfect timing. So even I know I'd struggle with all of you in here, even with the train. So everybody be looking out the window going, train! You know, I had a hard time coming up with an idea for this sermon. I've given one on facing challenges, which we all do. I've given one on not getting discouraged. So what was next? I won't deny I struggled with this one. Well, last week, Katrin and Colleen were dedicated. But not only were they dedicated, but Katrin got $5 for a dedication gift. And she decided to put that $5 in the offering plate. No one suggested, she just did it. And the other day, when I was working late, the girls started dinner without us. Ruthie served up supper, but when she left the room, she heard Katrin and Colleen saying grace without being told. Well, hearing all of this about my girls made me pretty darn proud. But, oops, that's a no-no, isn't it? That's against the rules, is pride, isn't it? Last I checked, and I was like, oh, now what? That's against the rules, but I'm proud. I should be, I think. So I decided I had to look into this a little more. Because, I mean, we're supposed to be proud parents. We're supposed to be proud of our country. So when is pride right and when is pride wrong? I think we all know that taking pride in one's possessions and such is wrong. And bragging is not right. So I'm not going to talk about this because it's pretty well established. We all pretty much know bragging, taking pride in things and showing it off and rubbing it in other people's faces is wrong. As much as it may be fun sometimes, it's still wrong, and we know that. But the confusion is when we discuss things like pride in our country or even our church. After a little research, this is what I've come up with. Proverbs 8:13 says, "Pride and arrogance are the way of evil, and perverted speech I hate." In 2 Corinthians 7:2-4, describing Paul's joy over the church's repentance, "Make room for us in your hearts. We have wronged no one. We have corrupted no one. We have exploited no one. I do not say this to condemn you. I have said before that you have such a place in our hearts that we would live or die with you. I have spoken to you with great frankness. I take great pride in you. I am greatly encouraged. In all our troubles, my joy knows no bounds." So we've seen pride in both a negative light and a positive light. Well, what's the difference? Why is pride okay in one text, but not in another? In 2 Corinthians 12:5-6 it says, "I will boast about a man like that, but I will not boast about myself, except about my weakness. Even if I should choose to boast, I would not be a fool, because I would be speaking the truth. But I refrain so no one will think more of me than is warranted by what I do or say." So now I think we're getting somewhere. In the last passage, if we were to substitute boast with pride, we would see that it's okay to have pride in others, but not in oneself. There is actually another lesson sneaking around in that last passage that I had not even thought about when I started this sermon, but I learned as I went. It's amazing when that happens. You just kind of sneak around and go, wow, look at that. I'm sure Pastor Fran would agree. He's not even listening to me.
Definitely. I'm following you. I'm following you in second grade.
At the end of the last passage it states, "But I refrain so no one will think more of me than is warranted by what I do or say." The lesson here is that if you boast about yourself, then you're likely to build yourself up greater than you may want to. How often do you watch a TV show where a person pretends to be something they're not? And they end up getting themselves into trouble because they keep that illusion up. They keep pretending to be something they're not. And at the end, they end up giving in and letting everybody know that they're not whatever they were pretending to be. That got really redundant. Who knew that the Bible would know a common TV theme years before TV was even a dream? So where does this leave us when we say we're proud of our children? 1 Corinthians chapter 4-6 says, "Now, brothers, I have applied these things to myself and Apollos for your benefit, so that you may learn from us the meaning of the saying, 'Do not go beyond what is written.' Then you will not take pride in one man over against another." So we know that we can be proud of others. But I think this means as parents we can be proud of our children as long as we do not compare ourselves to others as parents. So if our children do something nice, we can be proud of that as long as we don't look at the other parents and compare ourselves and think I'm better than you or my parenting is better than yours. As parents, we often want to take credit for what our children do. I know there are times where I say things like, "That's my kid right there," and I'm proud of that. But I realize as long as I shouldn't be comparing, I don't know what Dory just mumbled.
I said, or that's my nephew.
Or, "That's my nephew." There you go. But that's as long as you're not comparing yourself to others, you're okay. But once you start comparing yourselves to others as a parent, or in anything, you've crossed the line. Now you're boasting about yourself instead of just being proud of someone else. So my next question to you is, where is being proud of yourself okay? When is it okay to be proud of yourself? Because there are times where we are proud of what we do. We accomplish things, and you get a sense of pride over these accomplishments. And that's a struggle. It's, I'm proud, but I shouldn't be proud. But I am proud. I can't get rid of that. And it's a little struggle we go through. So, let me ask by show of hands, who here thinks it's never okay to be proud of yourself? Anybody? Somebody? Come on, somebody work with me here. There, Joe. Thank you. I can always count on Joe. How many think it is okay to be proud of yourself? Wow, y'all are killing me. Well, before I started this sermon, I would have agreed that it's not okay to be proud of yourself. Because you always hear it. It's bad to be proud. It's bad to be proud. So I thought it was wrong to take pride in yourself. The problem I had is it's hard not to be proud of yourself at times. Sometimes you do something awesome in a competition, or even at church that you are proud of. I won't deny, I was proud of myself after I was baptized. I was quite proud of that. I was proud after I became an elder. And again, I felt this struggle. I felt that it was wrong to be proud of myself in these situations. Imagine the irony. I'm proud of myself for my work in church, which to me was a sin. Of all the places not to feel proud, to me it was in church. I shouldn't be proud. Or so I thought. So when I was researching this, I found what I had Joe read to begin with. Galatians 6, 1-5 said, "Brothers and sisters, if someone is caught in a sin, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently. But watch yourself, or you also may be tempted. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. If anyone thinks that they are something when they are not, they deceive themselves. Each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone without comparing themselves to someone else, for each one should carry their own load." So it's okay to be proud of yourself, as long as you take pride in yourself alone and do not compare yourself to others. Don't try to lift yourself up on a pedestal above others. Take pride in what you do, as long as what you're doing is good. And you've earned it. You've worked hard. You deserve to be proud of that, as long as you're not comparing that. And you're proud of your accomplishments. And we should all take pride in our work in God. For I think everybody here does work in God, some way, shape, or form, whether it be in the church, whether it be after church, whether it be a random act of kindness like Megan had in Dunkin' Donuts. Just a random act is taking pride. Take pride in that. Don't go home and brag about it. Just take pride in it. I think the key to the whole thing is that right there, just not comparing yourselves to others. Now, the one thing that we have not discussed, but I feel the need to bring up, is that even when you're proud of yourself, it is always best to keep it to yourself. Remain humble, as in Luke 14:11. "For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted." So when you do something, take pride in that. Keep it to yourself, be proud, and just don't brag to others. And I think we'll all be okay. And that was a really short sermon for today.
It's a good one, though.
Very good.
Pretty quick.